An extraordinary day to everyone. My name is Aiken Montoya, and I will be your resource speaker for today about the introduction to bookkeeping. So, let's start. At the end of this training, we will be able to first understand the definition of bookkeeping, second, to understand the business and its forms, third, to know the registration requirements for business, fourth, to know the different books of accounts, fifth, to be familiarized with the bookkeeping cycle, and lastly, to know the different types of financial statement. Bookkeeping and business. So what is bookkeeping? Bookkeeping is the process of tracking and recording business financial transactions. So more on recording ang trabaho ng isang bookkeeper. Importante ba ang bookkeeping sa lahat ng business? The answer is yes. Why? Because 1. It maintains organized records. Lahat ng mga transactions ay susulat or i-encode mo. Hindi ka manghuhula sa kung ano yung nangyayari sa particular transaction at kung kailan ito nangyari. 2. It helps you to budget accurately. Sa bookkeeping, may kita mo dito yung income versus expenses mo. Kung may plano ka na mag-expand ng business, need ng additional benefits or trainings, equipment at iba pa. Mag-base ka pa din ng decision sa kung ano yung nakarecord sa books at kung kaya ba at kung kailan ito posibleng magawa. Third is preparation for tax and meet government regulations. Part ng mga requirements sa business registration and tax filings ang mga nakarecord sa books kaya dapat kompleto at handa na ang mga reports bago mag-submit para hindi na babalik and to avoid penalties in late submission. Fourth, it is easier to see business goals. Kung tuloy-tuloy na malaki ang kita ng company base sa mga recorded transactions, mas madaling makuha ang mga goals nila plus pwede pa magbigay ng bonuses. 5. Learning in the process. Mas matututo ka sa mga proseso, business decisions, bagong experience sa mga accounting applications at iba pa. Kung may mali ba na nabili ang company, maganda ba yung product, matas ba yung expenses, at iba pang bagay na nakaapekto sa business, yung learnings kasi ay tuloy-tuloy yan. Kaya lahat yan, ma-experience mo sa bookkeeping. Next slide. Kung sa accounting ang tawag ay accountant, dito naman sa bookkeeping ang tawag ay bookkeeper. Bookkeeper is a person who records the accounts or transactions of the business. May pagkakapareho ang ginagawa ng bookkeeper at accountant, pero meron din naman na pagkakaiba. Gaya ng parehas silang pwedeng mag-record ng transaction. Sa pagkakaiba naman, ang role ng bookkeeper ay more on recording while accountants naman ay more on analysis ng data, helping the business in understanding the impact of financial decisions at may requirement na certification like to pass board exam in Certified Public Accountant Licensure Examination. Bookkeeping, past versus present. Dati, puro manual na pagsusulat lang sa libro ng General Journal, General Ledger, Sales, Purchases, Cash Receipt, at Cash Disbursement Journal which is matrabaho and prone to errors. Ngayon, mas pinadali na dahil madami na ang accounting software na meron sa market. Pero dapat registered ito sa BIR kung gagamitin sa business at nakabase din sa standard functional requirements ng BIR bago gamitin. Sa ngayon, every January, marami tayong makikitang mga taxpayer na nagsasubmit na kanilang mga libro sa BIR. Halo ito, no? Meron silang manual, meron din namang mix, at meron din namang pure computerized accounting system, which is madaanan din natin later on sa mga susunod na slides. Ngayon nalaman na natin ang definition ng bookkeeping at bookkeeper, pumasok naman tayo sa business. Business, it is an organization or entity that sells goods or services for a profit. Siyempre for profit, may business ba na hindi goal ang kumita? Siyempre wala. So dapat ang goal nyo talaga ay kumita at mag-earn. Hindi dapat palugi. Importante din na legal ang business nyo at registered sa local government. Kaya dadako na tayo sa mga business registration requirements. Kung naisipan mo na mag-business na lang, ano ang dapat mong gawin? Siyempre, magparehistro. Ibig sabihin, pag nakarehistro yung business mo sa local government ninyo, lahat ng transactions nyo ay legal. Otherwise, may penalty and subject for investigation yan kung may illegal na transaction. Paano pag hindi nakapagparehistro? Pwedeng maipasara yan ng Business Permits and Licensing Office ng LGU nyo kapag nangyari yon at kapag kayo ay naimbestigahan. So, ano ang mga requirements para makapag-business ng legal sa Pilipinas? Ang isang bagong tayong business or corporation ay kailangan sumunod sa mga requirements ng government agencies gaya ng Securities and Exchange Commission, Department of Trade and Industry, Bureau of Internal Revenue, and then local government unit. Ito yung mga kailangan, no? Barangay clearance, and then mayor's permit. Pero sa mayor's permit, meron din itong mga additional requirements kagaya ng mga fire permit, sanitary, environmental permit, at iba pa. Nakadepende din ito sa kung ano yung ibibigay sa inyo ng tauhan dun sa munisipyo. Kung may empleyado naman, kailangan din ng SSS, PhilHealth at Pag-ibig. For SSS, ito yung savings and loans. For PhilHealth, ito naman yung health insurance. While sa Pag-ibig, ito naman yung housing and loans. Ito ay kailangan para sa pagbabayad ng kontribusyon ng mga empleyado mo. Buwan-buwan. Mandatory ang pagbabayad ng contribution. Otherwise, meron itong kaukulang parusa at pwede pa kayong makasuhan. Mandatory din na ipaskil ang mga kopya ng business permit or registration sa business location gaya ng may kita natin sa imahe. Nagkakaroon ng inspection ang mga government agencies natin at kung sakaling hindi yan nakapaskil, ay magkakaroon ka ng penalty. Siyempre, ayaw natin mangyari yun. Hassle sa side natin, plus additional expenses pa yun. Kaya dapat, lagi tayong sumunod sa mga patakaran ng ating local government unit, ganun din sa ating mga munisipyo, para hindi tayo magkaroon ng problema. Next slide. Now that we know the requirements for business registration, we can now move forward to the types and forms of business organizations. So, types of business organizations. First is service business. From the word itself, service, meaning mga bagay na ginagawa sa isang client ng mga professionals. For example, nagmamasahe, no? Barbershop, car repair, diba? At iba pa. No? Kumbaga mostly rito ay puro skills, no? So marami 'yan sa hindi lang sa Philippines, no? Ganoon din sa ibang bansa, no? Next, merchandising business. Ito naman yung buy and sell ng goods kagaya ng supermarket o kaya tindahan dyan sa inyong nasasakupan. Sabi dito, kumikita sila sa pamamagitan ng markup sa goods. Hindi rin nila binabago yung form ng goods, unlike sa manufacturing. And ito yung pangatlo, yung manufacturing na. Ito naman ay nag-start from scratch. Bumibili sila ng mga raw materials, tapos pagsasama-samahin lang para makabuo ng isang produkto. Halimbawa nito ay yung mga car manufacturers, no? So yung kung makita kayo ng mga planta sa lugar ninyo, no? May mga per department pa yan kung saan binibuild nila yung isang particular na bagay. Tapos once na magawa nila yung isang bagay na yon, yung product na yon, move na siya sa next department kung saan dadagdagan na siya ng additional pang mga equipment, no? Ayun. So, yun yung tatlong types ng uh, business organizations. Now, we can now move forward to the forms of business organizations, no? So, meron na itong tatlong uri. Una ay sole proprietorship, meaning solo ka lang magtatayo ng business, no? Kung halimbawa, nakaipon ka na ng marami sa trabaho mo, no? Naisipan mo mag uh, online selling o kaya magluto ng mga uh, paborito mong pagkain na tingin mo ay kikita ka, bebake, ganyan, gagawa ng cake, no? So, pwede kang makategorize as sole proprietorship kung ikaw lang ang nag-own ng business, no? Wala kang ibang kahati. The next is partnership. Ito ay owned by two or more persons whom the profits of the business divided among themselves based on the agreed terms, no? So, pag sinabing partnership, hindi naman ibig sabihin yan dalawa lang kayo, no? So, sabi nga sa definition is two or more persons, no? Then next is yung corporation. It's a legal entity created by individuals, stockholders, or shareholders with the purpose of operating for profit. Dito, ang tawag sa owners ay stockholders. Meron din silang tinatawag na board of directors kung saan kailangan approve sa kanila mga proposed business activities, transactions bago ito ipatupad. Now that we already know about the business and its forms, we can now move on to the next objective, no, which is accounting. So, what is accounting? No? Accounting, as defined by ICPA or American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, is the art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner in terms of money, transactions, and events. So why accounting is an art? Art definition is the expression or application of human creative skill. Therefore, accounting is an art because it presents the financial findings by following the implementation of generally accepted accounting principles. So may art din sa accounting, no? So kung paano mo siya i-present sa, let's say, sa mga reports, financial statement, then sabi nga rito is gumagamit ka ng human creative skill. So nag-analyze ka, no? pinapakita mo yung mga skills mo, let's say summary ng mga items, summary ng reports, no? So, it is considered as an art, no? Hindi lang naman yung art ibig sabihin nun, drawing lang, no? Yung math nga may art pa rin, 'di ba? So, ayun, kaya naman siya ay defined is as an art, no? Art of recording, classifying and summarizing in significant manner, no? Sa bookkeeping and accounting, kailangan natin ng formula para siguradong balanse lahat ng ating mga records sa libro. Ano ang standard accounting equation dito, no? So sa accounting, no, ang standard equation ay assets is equals to liabilities plus shareholders equity. So makikita natin dito sa picture, no? Pwede rin yan pagbalik-balik ta rin, no? Pwede yan na equity is equals to asset minus liability, and pwede rin naman liability is equals to assets minus equity, no? May mga normal balance din na tinatawag sa accounting equation. Ang normal balance ng asset, no, ay debit, while sa liability and equity naman ay credit. Meaning, when an amount is accounted for on its normal side, it increases that account, while if it is on the opposite side of its normal account, it decreases. Mas madaling tandaan ang normal balances sa pamamagitan ng DC, DEALER, or pwede rin naman DC Dealer na format as shown below sa ating PowerPoint. Whereas D is debit, C is credit, and under D, no, we have A for assets, D for drawing, and E for expenses, no. While under credit, we have L for liability, E for equity, and R for revenue. So malaking bagay ito sa isang bookkeeper, no, para malaman mo kung ano ba yung normal balances ng mga to. Otherwise, for example, sa isang asset, no, kung halimbawa man na siya ay na-credit, meaning ito ay deduction sa asset, no. On the other hand, halimbawa sa liability naman, no, kung meron tayong liability na recorded as debit, no, meaning ibabawas natin ito doon sa liability kasi ang normal balance ng liability para ito ay mag-increase ay credit. So, debit and credit, no? Accounting is based on double entry system. Each transaction affects at least two accounts. The total debits for a transactions must be equal to the total credits. So dapat balanse lagi ano dito sa accounting kasi kapag hindi balanse, no, let's say for example sa isang transaction pa lang, no, either may mali kang amount na nailagay or mali yung pagkakakuha natin doon sa problem, no? Account is a detailed record of the increase, decrease, and the balance of each element that appears in an entity's financial statement. So dito sa debit and credit, meron tayong tinatawag na account, no? So ito ngayon yung detailed record ng isang bagay na ginagawa ng isang bookkeeper, no, na ina-analyze natin by sa given situation, given data, no, and given transaction. So an account is debited when an amount is entered on the left side of the account, while it is credited when it is on the right side of the account, no. So for example, no, yung isang account, no, so meron tayong mga chart of accounts, no, kung ano yung mga ginagamit natin, for example cash, no. So kung nasa left side daw yung isang cash, no, nasa left side, no? Meaning, nasa debit side yun, no? While, kung nasa right side naman siya, credit side naman siya, no? Next is T account, no? It is a graphic representation of a general account. Kaya siya tinatawag na T account kasi yung shape niya ay kagaya ng letter T sa alphabet, no? So, basically, no, doon lang naman kinuha yung pangalan niya, yung T account na yan, no? T account concept is useful especially when compiling more difficult accounting transactions, where the accountant needs to see how a business transactions impacts all part of the financial statements. By using a T account, one can keep from making erroneous entries in the accounting system, no? So, dun sa T account, no, kung maalala natin yung mga lesson natin nung accounting subjects natin nung college tayo, malaking bagay ito, no, sa recording. Kasi dito mo mamamonitor, no, kung ano yung magiging balance ng isang account, no, plus yung mga naging transactions doon sa account, no. Of course, dito syempre ilalagay mo rito yung mga either kung may debit or credit do sa isang account, no. So total mo yun, so subtract mo whichever is higher, syempre yun yung magiging remaining balance dun sa total, no. Mas madali siya, no, kasi again, hindi siya hindi ka na malilito kasi nandun pwede mong ilagay, no, yung amount again sa debit kung debit siya, sa credit kung nasa right side naman siya, no. Then of course yung equivalent naman nun, no, for sure nasa ibang account naman yun, no, naka-entry, no. Kaya T account talaga, foundation talaga to ng mga bookkeepers at ng mga accounting students, no. For day-to-day accounting transactions, T accounts are not used, no. Instead, the accountant creates journal entries in accounting software. Thus, T accounts are only a teaching and account visualization aid, no. So, sa work field naman, no, more encoding lang yung bookkeeping, syempre bookkeeper and accountant, no, halos very minimal yung T account, no. Kasi yung mga software lalo na ngayon, no, mas pinadali nila yung buhay, no, ng mga bookkeeper at accountant ngayon, no. Kasi syempre may mga reporting din tayo, so it will take time if mag-T account tayo, no. So for educational purposes yung T account, but malaking tulong yan sa pag-intindi natin, pag-analyze sa isang financial statement o kaya sa isang monthly transaction ng isang company kung saan i-entryhan mo lahat ng mga naging transaction ng isang company, then gagawa ka na ng mga reports. So, let's have an illustration. On January 5, 2022, purchase of office supplies amounting to 2,000 in cash. Instruction: prepare a T account for office supplies account and cash account. So, base sa sample problem, no, meron tayong dalawa accounts, cash and office supplies. So, gagawa ka na ng hiwalay na T account sa dalawa, no. Base sa natutunan natin sa accounting nung nag-aral pa tayo, ang cash ay asset at ang normal balance ng asset ay debit. Pero sa case na to, nabawasan tayo kasi may binili in exchange of goods. So, dapat ang cash ay under debit side. So, dapat ang cash ay under credit side rather, no? Baka debit side yung nabanggit ko kanina. And next, same with office supplies. Ano ang normal balance niya pag nag-increase? Diba? Base sa DC Adler, no? So, under debit yung asset, no? So, dapat debit, no? Kaya, nasa debit side ito. Kasi, bumili tayo ng office supplies. So, yung office supplies natin, mag-i-increase. Maaring lagyan ng date sa T account at pwede din nilagyan ng short description para hindi nakakalito. Pero sa sample natin, date at amount muna, then total, no? Dapat balance yan parehas, no? So, kung meron kang 2,000 dun sa cash account mo, dapat meron ka rin 2,000 dun sa office supplies, no? So, parehas yan na mag-equal, no? Or magkatali, no? Hindi pwedeng 2,000 sa cash tapos sa office supplies mo 1,000, no? May kakaroon ka ng variance nun or hindi pa pareha dun sa reporting mo. Alright. Moving forward, let us define asset, liabilities, and equity. So let's start with asset. No? Asset, as defined by IFRS, a resource controlled by the enterprises or enterprise as a result of past events and from which future economic benefits are expected to flow. To make it simple, ito yung mga pagmamay-ari mo ngayon. Sa business naman, ito yung mga pagmamay-ari nila na pwede nilang magamit sa business. Halimbawa, kung ang business mo ay coffee shop, ito yung mga espresso machine na magagamit mo sa pag-generate ng cash, syempre. Gagawa ka ng mga coffee products, so yung revenue ron, nakapag-generate ka nga ng cash nun. Diba? Which is magagamit mo sa business. Next ay liabilities. It is the financial obligations of the company. So, ito yung mga dapat bayaran ng isang owner, whether sa government, loans, bills, employee contributions, at iba pa. Then next ay equity, no? This is the amount that belongs to the business owners. This is also the amount that the owner invested sa business. Alright, dumako naman tayo sa books of accounts. Sa bookkeeping, dito umiikot ang mundo ng mga bookkeeper. But business ay required magkaroon ng libro kung saan nakalagay lahat ng transactions as per Section 232 of Republic Act 10963. Yan, no? So, kung registered na yung business mo or registered business owner ka na, no, required kang mag-comply sa BIR, no, required ka magpasa ng books, no, kahit manual yan, no, kailangan, whether maliit or malaki yung business mo, kailangan, no. Mayroon tatlong formats ang books of accounts, no. First is the manual books. Ito yung pinakasimple sa lahat na ginagamit din ng maraming small business owners. Manual sinusulat dito ang mga business transactions. Pero may disadvantages din ito. Dapat may laging nagsusulat ng transactions sa libro para at the end of the year, kumpleto na ang mga transactions for recording at ready na isubmit sa BIR dahil kapag kulang, maaring hindi yan tatanggapin ng BIR and subject to penalty kung late na sasubmit. Prone din sa erasures ang manual writing. So, yung mga manual books yan, available yan sa bookstores. No? May kita natin yung mga journals. Yun. Madalas yan sa mga small business owners. No? And sa ibang mga company na hindi pa computerized yung accounting system nila. Then next is loose leaf. It is a type of hybrid system for maintaining accounting books and it combines digital system and manual submission of books. Dahil ina-encode ang mga transactions sa loose leaf approved format bago i-print at i-submit sa BIR. Siyempre, kailangan approve ng BIR yung format bago gamitin. No? So, ito naman, no, ina-encode nila no, sa computer yung mga transactions and then may format si BIR na na-approve no, by sa application and then ito na yung gagamitin format sa pag-print, then pag-bind, then pag-submit sa BIR. Then, third is computerized books of accounts. Ito naman yung accounting process mo ay nasa computer na lahat, no? Simula sa pag-price ng billings, resibo, recordings, and books, no? Maraming computerized accounting system applications na ang available sa market, pero dapat ipapa-approve pa din sa BIR ang gagamiting cash application, no? So, meron silang format na ibibigay sa'yo, then comply mo lang yon, i-prepare mo lahat ng requirements, no? I-align mo sa kung ano yung sabihin sa'yo ng BIR base ron sa memo nila na binigay or yung mga documents, no, na annexes na kailangan mong sundin or format base format yung CAS mo base ron sa annexes na sabi ng requirements nga kung ano paano yung magiging format ng books mo, no. Otherwise, syempre, kung hindi, either hindi yan i-approve or magkakaroon ng adjustment, no. Syempre, hindi naman kasi lahat aligned, no, sa system ng BIR, no. Ayun, syempre may mga consideration din silang ginagawa, no. Basta importante ron, no, masunod kung ano yung nakalagay dun sa annexes. Alright, alamin naman natin ang 6 basic types of books. So, una, general journal. This is called the book of original entry. Dito nakarecord lahat ng transactions ng business. Please take note na may proper format na dapat sundin sa bawat libro alinsunod sa patakaran ng BIR para mas mapadali ang trabaho and recording ng isang bookkeeper or isang business owner. Sa general journal, meron dito na company, period of report, line number, date, account, name, of course, and description. Reference, debit and credit, and amount, no. So nakadepende rin ito, no. Depende sa format na susundin nyo. Pero in general, no, um, maraming books or companies na yung format nila syempre halos pare-parehas na may mga again may mga date, no, company name, tapos yung book, no, kung anong type ng book yon, no, then nandun na lahat kung general journal yan, general journal, no. May mga description din, of course yung amount importante and yung mga peso sign, yan. Then next is general ledger. It summarizes all the transactions per account. Ginagamit din ito sa paggawa ng financial statement. Ganito naman ang itsura ng general ledger. Kada isang account, meron isang ledger kung saan nakapaloob doon ang mga transactions sa isang period. Makikita din dito ang account name, date, details, reference, debit and credit, and amount, no. So for example, no, sa general ledger, no, may isang account na kukunin, no. So yung isang account na yun, no, lahat ng connected doon sa particular period, no, puro sa kanya lang. For example, cash, no, kay cash lang. Next is cash receipts journal, which is used to record cash receipts during the accounting period, no. So may mga format din ito, no, kagaya dun sa nauna natin nabanggit, no. Lalo na sa manual, no, sa manual writing, no, may mga date yan, of course, pakita mo yung date, yung reference, then description, yung amount, of course, yung account, na account title, and total, no? And of course, yung mga date, yan. Then, kung anong type ng book, of course. Next is cash disbursement journal. Ito naman yun, it itemizes all financial expenditures made with cash or cash equivalent, no? So, dito lahat ng mga disbursement na or expenses na isang company, dito mo makikita yan, no, sa report na ito. Meron din itong format, no, halos pare-pares naman sila, no. Again, may company name, date, of course, description, reference, amount, no. Yan. Kasi syempre kung wala yan, no, most likely hindi yan aproba ng BIR lalo na kung manual books kayo. So, either ulit kayo, papasulat sa inyo ulit yan, no? Papareformat, no? Which is hassle. So, dapat talaga, no? Kompleto, as much as possible. Kompleto dapat lahat ng mga bibigyan natin ng dokumento sa BIR. Then, next is sales journal, no? It is used to record sales transactions during the accounting period, no? So, dito lahat ng benta ng isang company sa isang period, ito may kita. And then, yung next counterpart niya ay purchase journal naman. Ito naman ay used to record all purchase transactions during the accounting period, no? Then again, please take note that lahat ng books of accounts ay may required details that should be present as per BIR, no? So again, mga nabanggit ko na yan, no? May mga date, reference number, description, no? Total, amount, no? Company name, no? So very particular yung BIR dyan. Kaya dapat mag-ingat at dapat mag-comply tayo. Next is yan. Alright. Sorry, may technical error lang, pero I think na-discuss na natin itong purchase journal, no? Alright. Next naman ay yung bookkeeping cycle, no? The accounting cycle is a process that records business transactions from start to finish, helping the business to stay organized and efficient. Yan. So, bookkeeping cycle or accounting cycle, no? Halos almost the same naman yan, no? Kasi from start ka no? From step 1 to step 8, no? Nadaanan mo yan, no? As a bookkeeper or accountant. So, there are 8 steps dito sa ating bookkeeping cycle, no? First is identify transactions, no? Ayan. So, identify natin dito kung ano yung mga transactions ng business. Kung ito ba ay sales or purchases, payables or receivables, no? So, syempre, ano ba to, no? Ano ba tong step 1, no? So, syempre, sa business mo, may mga kailangan gawin, no? Bibili ka nito, no? Magbabayad ka kay ganito, no? So, ano ba yun? Ano ba yun, no? Ano ba yung type na yun? Yun ba ay expenses? Yun ba ay kita, no? So, syempre, identify mo siya. And next is recording of transactions in the journal. Yan. So, record ng transaction sa journal, no? After natin ma-identify yung transaction, i-record na natin ito sa general journal. Then, next is posting. After recording in the general journal, i-record naman natin ito sa general ledger kung saan naka-per account ang transaction. So, para mas madaling tandaan, no? Sa alphabet, lagi mauna yung J, no? Bago yung K tsaka L, no? So, kapag sa question, tinanong, ano mauna, general ledger or general journal, syempre, tandaan nyo lang sa alphabet, no? J, general, GJ, bago mag-GL. Right? Yan. So, let's have a example. No? Record the following transactions in a general journal. So, Mr. Luca Pacioli established Pacioli General Services and had the following transactions for the month of January. So, dito, no, meron siyang mga nakalagay na details, no? January 2, investment of 100,000 as capital funds. Then January 7, receipt of charge invoice from supplier for the purchase of desktop computer amounting to 30,000. Then January 9, purchase of supplies amounting to 8,000 in cash, no? So, apply natin yung first 3 steps dito, no? Una, identify ng mga transaction. So syempre, sa January 2, 7, tsaka 9, no? Yung mga given details na yan identify mo kung ano-ano ba yan, no? Once na ma-identify mo na, no, proceed ka na sa recording, no, which is yung step 2, no? So yung una, no, ano yung mga affected diyan, no? Syempre, we have cash, no? And then also yung capital kasi base naman sa description, yung 100,000 no, investment as capital funds by Mr. Pasholi or Pasholi. Yan. So 100. So debit, ano yung debit dito? Syempre, yung cash kasi nag-increase ng cash, no? And then credit, no? Yung capital niya, no, which is uh, credit amounting to 100,000, no? So para sila nag-increase, no, base ron sa DC Adler natin, no, kung naalala niyo yung previous slides, no. Well, pwede niyo silang balikan, no. Pwede niyo i-post to, balikan niyo yung slide na yon, no, para mas ma-visualize niyo, no, yung step 1, 2 and 3 kung saan mas madali natin ma-identify, no, yung recording, no, ng isang transaction. Right? Let's move forward to January 7, no. Receipt of charge invoice from supplier for the purchase of desktop, no. So meaning naka-receive daw tayo ng charge invoice, no. So di pa tayo nagbabayad dito. So amounting daw to ng 30,000, no. Before I forgot, no, syempre may explanation dun sa recording natin, no, which is yun yung sa step 2. Step 2 and step 3. So dun sa step 2, no, record natin yun. Tagay mo yung date, January 2. Let's assume 2021, no. So do sa date, kailangan kompletong date yan. Siyempre para hindi tayo malito, no. Then next is yung explanation description, no. Kahit brief lang naman, no. To record investment of Mr. Pasholi into business. Ayun. So doon, no, to record investment of Mr. Pacholi into business, no. So hindi naman need na kopyahin lahat 'yon. Pwede mo pa shortcutin, okay, no, as long as naintindihan, no, ng bookkeeper, syempre, at saka ng of course may-ari, no? And then may mga reference yan, no. Again, kung meron kayong accounting chart of accounts rather, no, syempre may mga number yan, no? Mas madali, malaking tulong yan lalo sa mga corporations, no, sa recording. Then next, account title, ano ba yan? Cash, and then capital, and then debit and credit. So next, nga again, dun tayo sa desktop. Ayun, sa desktop, ayan, so debit equipment, no? Kasi nag-increase yung equipment natin, no? Kung ma-analyze natin dito, no? Hindi naman nag-increase yung cash natin kasi wala naman dumating na cash. But rather, meron pa tayong liability kasi magbabayad tayo, nagkaroon tayo ng invoice, no, for payment. So ayun, so nag-increase yung office equipment natin amounting to 30,000. So ano yung credit niya? Accounts payable kasi nga charge invoice, no. So be particular din dun sa details given, no, or dun sa transaction that was provided. And next is January 9, no, to record purchase of supplies amounting to 8,000 in cash daw, no. So ano yung debit doon, no? Debit doon ay yung office supplies, no, 8,000. Then credit cash, no. So dito mababawasan na yung cash natin, no, 'di ba? Yung sa DC Adler natin, yung debit, normal balance ang asset is debit, no. Therefore, kung mag-purchase ka ng office supplies, no, cash is an asset, no. So yung 8,000 doon naka-credit. While do sa office supplies still an asset, so debit siya, no. Ayan. So magbabangga pa rin naman yun kasi isang debit at isang credit. Alright? Since napakita natin step 1 to 3, no, based on the given general journal, no, prepare a general ledger for cash account naman, no. So after mo ma-identify yung 1 and 2 doon, no, dito naman yung 3, no. yung posting sa general ledger, no? Kasi of course kanina, no, kung record mo isang buong month transaction, no, marami yon. Ngayon gagawa ka naman ng GL per each transaction, no. So for our example, no, cash account lang. So base dito sa given, alin ba rito yung cash lang, no? Syempre check mo lang rito kung ano yung cash, no. We have January 2, no, we have January 9, we have January 17, we have January 22, and then 31 for cash, no. So lahat ng transactions na may word na cash, yun yung gagawin mo na journal general ledger rather, no. So ano mag-itsura niya? Ito, no. So sample lang naman ito. Again, may kanya-kanyang format yan, no. Kung sa manual books man yan, or sa loose leaf, or sa CAS, no, may kanya-kanyang format yan, no, alinsunod sa bibigay na annex ni BIR, no. So for our example, no, assuming services yung small business owner, the services yung na-offer sa ating given, no. So maliit lang or konti lang yung general nakalagay sa general ledger, no. Pero in reality, of course, marami yan, no. Alright, dito sa general ledger natin sa example, no, makikita mo rito lahat ng cash account, no, kung naka-debit ba yan or naka-credit yan. Tapos may description din, of course may date yan, no. Yan, tapos syempre naka-total yan, no. So for example, no, yung dalawang cash naka-debit, ito yung investment sa business, no. Una, no, yung malaki, 100,000, and then next yung halimbawa, yung January 17, nakakuha raw tayo ng cash from customer amounting to 28,000. And then on the credit side naman, ito yung mga deduction sa cash, no. So ito yung mag-purchase ng supplies in January 9, may kita natin yan. Then yung mga full payment sa supplier, and then salary ng employees, and then yung drawing pa, no? Ayan. Then of course, pag tinotal mo yung parehas, yung balance na amount na mag-arrive ka once na subtract mo yung debit and credit, no. If 76, for example, if yung 76,000 na yan, no, is mas malaki yung amount na yan, no, yan ay debit, no, which means hindi siya credit, hindi siya negative, no, ganun, no. So pag tinotal mo yung debit, again, pag tinotal mo yung debit tapos yung tapos sa credit, no, dun sa isang account, no, kung ano yung normal balance niya kapag for example dito debit, no, kung positive yan, kung negative yan, magiging credit yan. So ganun lang magiging effect yan. Alright, let's now move forward to an adjusted trial balance, no. Ito yung next step, no. After the end of accounting period, ito naman yung prepare natin para malaman natin kung balanse ba ang lahat ng accounts. Kasi kapag hindi, pwedeng hindi ka na i-record sa transaction or na transaction, or pwede rin naman na mali yung pag-input mo ng amount, no. Uso yan, no, yung kala mo hindi nangyayari sa tunay na corporation na business, no. Pero pwede pala nagkakapalit ka ng type, nagkakapalit ka ng sulat, no. Kaya kailangan careful talaga tayo. The next is analyzing the worksheet. Of course, we need to analyze the worksheet to identify the entries, no, that needs to be adjusted. And which is the next step is the adjusting journal entries, no. Once we identify the accounts that need adjustment, we can now prepare the adjusting journal entries, no. So for our example, no, prepare the adjusting journal entries for items 1 and 2 only, no. So for number 1, the computer estimated useful life is 5 years with no scrap value, no. So let us compute for depreciation. Let us assume na gagamitin natin ay straight line method, no. The formula will be cost of an asset minus salvage value divided by the useful life of an asset. So yung 30,000 dito, no, saan makikita yon? Sa example natin, doon kay code number 151, account title is equipment, no. So yung 30,000, divide mo siya ng minus mo muna siya ng scrap value, if any, no? Since wala, so 0. Then, divide mo siya na 5 years, ang equal nun ay 6,000. So, anong magiging adjusting entry, no? No? So, syempre, magiging debit niyan, no? Depreciation expense. And then, yung credit is accumulated depreciation, no? So, mag-entry ka na ng adjusting entries dito, no? So, yung description niya is yung to record the annual accumulated depreciation. So, dito, ang na-compute natin is yung annual, no? So, what if monthly yung hinihingi? So, yung 6,000, di-divide natin sa 12 months para makuha yung per month. And then, mag-arrive na tayo sa monthly depreciation. So, magkano yun? Ang sagot ay 500. Ayan. So, again, depende sa problem, ha? Please take note, no? Kung ano yung hinahanap. And sa tunay na buhay naman, no? Depende yun kung monthly, of course, di monthly yung hahanapin. And then, proceed naman tayo sa number 2, no? Unused office supplies amounting to 7,000 daw. So, base sa unadjusted trial balance, ang office supplies natin ay 8,000. So, balik ko lang, ha? Yan. Ang office supplies daw natin ay 8,000. Ngayon, ang sabi ron ay unused office supplies daw na 7,000, meaning ay ang natira na lang daw ay 7,000 at the end of the period, no? So, magkano yung nabawas? No? Siyempre, 8,000 minus 7,000 is 1,000. So, ang entry natin doon ay supplies expense, no? Debit, and then credit, office supplies, no? Then, yung description is to record unused office supplies on hand as of January 31, 2021. Alright. Let's proceed sa next step, no? Once all adjusting entries are made, we can now move forward in preparation of financial statements, no? So, daanan natin ng bahagya yung mga klase ng financial statements, no? There are a set of reports that shows the company's financial status at a specific period of time. So, meron itong 4 na klase, no? Balance sheet, income statement, tapos statement of cash flows, and statement of changes in owner's equity. Right? Yan. So, ito yan. Right, next slide. So, let's define yung each report. So, yung una ay balance sheet, no? This report summarizes the financial state of a business at a specific period of time. It's also called as statement of financial position. May proper statement head na sinusunod sa lahat ng reports, no? Sa taas, that meron itong company name, report name, date, or period, no? Sa baba naman, mauna yung assets, no? For balance sheet, no? Mauna yung assets. Then, at naka-accounts under assets, nandito kagaya ng mga cash, office supplies, at iba pa. Then, pasok dito yung mga equipment, land, at mga intangible assets. No? Then, sa liabilities naman, dito yung mga payables, loans, and other liabilities. And then, lastly, yung equity naman, which includes capital and retained earnings and stocks. No? So, ito yung nasa ating sample. Then, next naman ay income statement. No? This statement shows the company's expenses and income. Dito din may kita kung gain or loss ang isang company. Malaking bagay ito sa mga investors dahil dito malalaman nila kung profitable ba ang company at pwede ba sila mag-invest dito. Guys, sa balance sheet, may proper format din na sinusunod dito. Sa taas, may kita yung company name, no? Report name, and period. At sa baba naman, revenues and sales. No? Ito yung first section ng income statement and it gives you summary ng gross ng isang company. No? So, ito yung gross sales or revenues. No? Then, next naman ay cost of goods sold or cost of sales. Ito naman yung cost incurred to manufacture goods or services. It indicates how much a retail or wholesale business spends on the product it purchases from suppliers or for resale. Applicable ito sa mga merchandising, while for services, it will be cost of service yung term gagamitin. When we subtract net sales minus cost of goods sold, we will arrive now at the gross profit. No? Then we will deduct the expenses, which is the third section of the income statement. Then we will arrive at to the net income. No? Expenses are costs that the company has to pay in order to generate revenue. Some examples of this one are the salaries expense, communication, rent, and utilities. No? Yan. So, yung income statement, ang idea lang talaga nito is yung revenue or yung sales mo minus lahat ng mga expenses mo. The next report is the statement of cash flows. No? It summarizes the amount of cash flowing in and out of the company. No? Bali, magbe-base ka dito sa cash account sa general journal. Meron din itong format na sinusunod at dapat merong dapat meron itong company name, report name, and period. No? Sa statement of cash flows, ito ay divided sa tatlong parts. No? Una ay operating activities. No? So, ano-ano ba yun? No? Those cash flows activities that either generate revenue or record the money spent on producing a product or service. Operational business activities include inventory transactions, interest payments, tax payments, wages to employees, and payments for rent. No? Any other form of cash flow such as investments, debts, and dividends are not included in this section. So next naman ay investment. No? Investment activities. The second section on the cash flow statement records the gains and losses caused due to investment in assets like property, plant, or equipment, thus reflecting overall change in the cash position for a company. No? So, dito, no, yung mga investment under cash, may ma-identify mo naman yan, no? Kung bumili, especially mga PPE, no? Mga, mostly dito, mga equipment. Alright, next is the financial activities. The third section on the cash flow statement records the cash flow between the company and its owners and creditors. No? Financial activities include transactions involving debt, equity, and dividends. In these transactions, incoming cash is recorded when capital is raised, such as from the investors or banks, and outgoing cash is recorded when dividends are paid. And lastly, no, the statement of owner's equity. It portrays changes in the capital balance of business over a reporting period. The concept is usually applied to a sole proprietorship where income earned during the period is added to the beginning capital balance and owner draws are subtracted. The result is the ending balance in the capital account. The amount of owner's equity is increased by income and owner contributions. The balance is decreased by the losses and owner draws. Thus, the format of this statement of owner's equity may include the following line items. No? So, beginning capital balance, of course, plus income earned during the period, no? Minus naman losses incurred during the period. And then, plus, if ever, the owner contributions during the period, then minus owner draws during the period, or owner drawings, no? Equals the ending capital balance. So, ayan, no? So, ito yung format niya. Nakikita natin dito, no? So, again, beginning capital balance, if any, no? And then, add lang tayo ng income earned during the period, if any. And then, of course, losses, minus natin yan, negative. Then, owner contributions from the period, if any. And then, total. And then, next natin yung drawing. No? Equals, after natin malis yung drawing, ending capital balance na yun, no? As you can see, it is the $105,000. So, let us have an example. So, ayan, no? So, ito yung given, no? Ay, post nyo na lang if ever, o kaya balikan nyo na lang yung slide, no? Yan. So, based on the given adjusted trial balance, prepare the following, no? 1 is income statement, then 2, statement of changes in owner's equity, then 3, statement of financial position, Fourth is statement of cash flows. No? Yan. Always take note na isulat ang proper heading kada report to avoid confusion. Mas maganda malaman kung kaninong company or individual yung report. No? Anong name ng report and anong period covered. No? Siyempre, bilang accountant or bookkeeper, no? Mahirap nga naman kung hindi mo alam kung anong period ito. No? Siyempre, sa recording, ipa-file mo yan per year. No? And sa isang year, file mo pa yan per month. Kaya importante rin na kumpleto yung details. So, start tayo sa income statement. No? Tingnan natin yung part ng revenue and expenses sa adjusted trial balance. So, ayan, dinagit ko na rito yung adjusted trial balance, no, para makita natin. And then, i-plot na natin ito sa report. No? So, sa sample natin, no, services, general services lang yung magiging application or gagamitin natin, no, base rito sa given data. Of course, mas magiging complex pa to sa iba pang mga example, iba pang mga company kung saan yung business nila ay mas malaki. Pwede services, pwede manufacturing, pwede merchandising. No? Ayun. So, let us use na lang for a discussion, no, yung services. So, again, sa income statement, no, check natin yung part ng revenue and expenses. No? So, once na magawa na natin yun, no, ilagay na natin yun sa service revenue na part, no, kung saan yun yung sale, yun yung magiging format natin, no, service revenue. So 50,000. So nasan ba yun? Nandun sa number 401 sa ating adjusted trial balance, no? So 50,000 ang ating revenue or sales, no? Kung wala namang mga returns and allowance, of course, wala mga for deductions, yun na yung magiging gross income natin. So, 50,000. Then, less na natin yung mga expenses. So, sa expenses, no, deduct dito yung mga salaries, depreciation, at iba pang mga expenses. No? Once mabawas natin yun, we will arrive to net income, no, which is also used to sa next report, no. So magkakarugtong yung mga report dito. Hindi lang siya basta-basta na etong si report A hindi siya related kay report B, no. So hindi. Itong mga report ito is connected sa isa't isa. No, so paano? For example, itong net income, no. 34,000, no, kasi 50,000 yung gross income natin. Wala naman tayong mga for deduction sa service revenue. So, yun yung gross income. So, deduct natin yung mga expenses. No? So, ano yung mga expenses nila rito base sa adjusted trial balance? Salaries, depreciation, supplies, tsaka utilities. So, total mo yun, 16,000, i-deduct natin sa 50, we will arrive at 34,000. Alright, now, let's move forward sa statement of changes in equity, no? Siyempre, magbase tayo sa adjusted trial balance, take doon din proper headings, of course. Then, of course, yung period, no? Let's assume it's 2021, no? That's why 2021 yung nakalagay rito. So, yung capital ni Pacholi, no? Yung January 1 ay hindi given, no? So, let's assume lang na 0, no? Pero if ever na meron, given, no? Lalagay natin yan dyan. So, next is mag-add tayo ng investment, no? Yung 100,000, ito yung capital niya. Then, mag-add tayo ng profit or yung sales galing dun sa income statement. So, yung 34,000 na yan, galing yan dun sa income statement. Ang total niya na ay 134,000 less yung drawing, no? Sabi rito, may drawing siya na 10,000. So, babawas. Of course, babawas mo yun, no? Dun sa ating statement of owners in statement of changes in equity. Ngayon, ang Pacholi capital ay for January 31 ay 124,000 pesos. Now, let's assume it's pesos. Alright. So again, check natin yung capital if any from the start of period, no? Balikan na natin to. And then include natin yung mga investments and income if any. And then arrive tayo sa total capital. Once we arrive sa total capital at the end of the accounting period, ito naman yung gagamitin natin sa next na report, no? So yung 124,000 na yan, tandaan natin yan, yung gagamitin natin sa statement of financial position, no? So ang basis natin sa example na ito ay yung general journal. At ito rin yung makikita natin na yung 100,000 ay nalagay on January 2, no? Ayan, no? So, January 2 yung date, no? Kaya papasin natin yung January 1 dito, walang nakalagay na capital. Ayan. Right. Next naman ay yung financial statement, no? So, dito, ang unang gagawin, hahanapin natin yung mga assets, liabilities, and equity. At dahil meron na tayo amount for equity, ang kailangan na lang natin ay yung assets and liabilities. So, base sa example, no, let us assume again na yung receivables and payables dito ay less than 1 year, no? Kaya if more than 1 year, kasi this will be under non-current, no? Say, under current assets, ito yung mga accounts under nun, no? So, cash, of course, accounts receivables, and supplies, no? So, again, ito yung mga under ng current assets. Base dito sa ating given adjusted trial balance. Then, ito total natin ito, of course, no? So, magkano ba yun? Yung cash, 76,000. Accounts receivable, 22,000. And then, yung supplies, 7,000. So, magkano yun? Total assets, no? 105,000. Total current assets yan, no? While yung non-current, no? We have also non-current. No? So, once ma-total natin yun, equipment lang naman ito base rito sa ating sample, no? So, non-current kasi mahaba yan, more than 1 year kasi yan. Kaya, under yan na non-current. Ngayon, babawas lang natin dito yung depreciation na na-compute natin earlier, no? Then, we will arrive for the total assets amounting to 134,500. So, base sa example, no, 500 lang yung dineduct natin, no? Bakit? Kasi 1 month lang naman. Kung 1 year yan, that would be 66,000. So, total non-current asset is 29,500, no? Then, pag-add natin yung total assets, no? So, yung non-current plus current is equals to 134,500. Right? Then, of course, we have move forward naman tayo sa liabilities. Paghiwalayin yung current at non-current. In our, if any, no? In our example, we only have accounts payable amounting to 10,500. So, again, let's assume na ito ay less than 1 year. No? Total lang natin ito, no? Then, ang next makakompute naman natin ay yung shareholders equity. No? Or, actually, nakompute natin ito prior, no? Ngayon, pagsama natin yung asset ay liability and equity, no? At dapat ang amount na ito makuha natin ay kaparehas ng total assets. Pag hindi, mayroong kulang sa mga recording na nalagay mo sa report. So, for example, no, 124,000 yung equity kanina plus yung total liabilities na 10,500. Kapag pinag-add man natin yon, equal ba yun sa assets, no? Base sa ating example, parehas sila na 134,500. Meaning, okay yung mga accounts na nagawa mo, na-analyze mo, so walang problema. Dito sa slide, papakita ko ulit yung general ledger kung saan ito ang magiging basehan natin sa statement of cash flows, no? Yan, so pwede mo i-post or post yung video or balik mo na yung slide, no? Dito, kasi mag-move forward tayo sa statement of cash flows, no? So dito, unahin natin yung mga operating activities, no? So, ano ba yun, no? Ito yung mga transaction na nakaka-affect, no? For example, customers, suppliers, for payment, ganun. No? Then, after nato, discuss natin yung investing activities and last na yung financing, no? Pag positive ang total sa isang part ng statement of cash flows, for example, sa operating activities, no, ang gamitin na term dito ay net cash provided. While if negative naman, net cash used, no. Then after we identify and compute the total of for each part, if positive, it will, no, if positive, it will be net increase in cash. Then kung Add sa cash balance yon at the end of the beginning period, no? So, we can arrive sa total cash balance at the end of the reporting period. Then, dapat tali ito sa cash account sa general ledger. So, sa sample natin, no? So, yung 28,000, no? Cash receipt from customers. So, saan ba galing yan, no? Tapin natin. Ito, January 17, no? To record receipt of cash from customers. So, 28,000. So, yan ay under ng operating activities, no? So, bakit, no? Kasi, ano ba yung business mo, no? So, ano ba yung transaction doon? So, operating activities yan. The next is outflow. Siyempre, outflow meaning palabas. So, bawas to sa'yo. So, ito yung mga payables, supply, salaries, at iba pa. So, of course, lagyan mo lang sa taas. Pagsamahin mo, 28,000 sa receipt ng cash from customers din. 12 tsaka 8,000 to be deducted dun sa inflow. No? So, ang magiging net cash provided by operating activities is 8,000. Next naman ay yung investing, no? So, dito, yung mga either kung meron kang benta ng equipment, if any, kung wala, di leave it blank. Next, outflow. Kung ito naman yung mga bumibili ka ng mga of course, equipment, additional yun sa business, no? Sa case natin, bumili siya ng laptop amounting to 22,000, no? So, nasan ba yun? Ito yan, no? January 22. To record full payment sa supplier. Putol lang yun. Pero ito siya, no? January 22. Yan. Post nyo na lang if ever para mas malinawan kayo. Then, total, no? Siyempre, kung negative yan, net cash used in investing activities. Again, kapag negative, net cash used. Positive, net cash provided. So, let's move forward sa financing naman, no? So, dito, no, ano ba yung mga investment ng owner, no, additional, tapos yung loans, tapos yung drawings, if any, sa atin yan. So, dito, yung 100 lang, of course, investment ng owner, and then yung 10,000 na bayad niya sa loans. Ito lang yun naman yun, yung deducted dun sa, ano niya, cash flow from financing activities. So, to double check, ayan. So, ito yung drawing lang naman, no, noong January 31. Ayan. Correct lang natin to, no? Payment for loans to. Dapat yung 10,000 nandun sa payment for withdrawals by owner, no? Ayan. So, correct lang natin yan. So, dapat ito, no? Dito yan. So, typo lang. But, same pa rin ang, ano yan, same pa rin ang sagot. 90,000 pa rin. Again, mas okay kung mas correct natin, no? If any. Kasi nangyayari yan, no? Nagkakaroon ng lito-lituan sa dami ng linya. Sa reporting, sa Excel man yan, or sa CAS, no? Kahit sa pagsulat. Kaya mas maging maingat tayo. Then, next naman, no? After mo yun, total mo yun, so 100 minus 10,000 equals to 90,000. Net cash provided by financing activities. Then, kukombine mo silang tatlo. So, 90,000 minus 22,000 plus 8,000. So, magkano yun, no? So, makuha natin doon ay net increase in cash amounting to 76,000, no? Kung positive. Kung negative, syempre, net decrease in cash. Then, ang cash balance, no, yung next naman na format, no, of course, may nakalagay dito. Cash balance at the beginning of the period, January 1, if any, wala. Kung meron, of course, add natin yan. Then, last is cash balance at the end of the period, January 31, no, 76,000 pa rin. No? Kung meron lang na beginning period, no, di, why not? So, possible na hindi yan maging 76. Alright, now let's move forward sa last step, no, closing the books, no. This is to make closing entries by finalizing expenses, revenues, and temporary accounts, no, at the end of accounting period and transferred to the capital accounts. So, dapat zero na yung income and expense accounts mo dahil nilipat na ito sa capital. No? So, yun lang naman yung thought na itong closing the books. So, let us have an example, no? So, based on the given adjusted trial balance, no, prepare closing entries daw. So, una ang gagawin natin ay tumingin sa income and expense na part ng trial balance, no? Once ma-identify natin dito kung alin yung income, kung alin lang rito yung gagawin natin, no, mas madali. Go-close natin sila sa income and expense summary account, no, para dun sa mga na-identify natin na mga accounts lang na gagalawin, no, dun sa adjusted trial balance, no. Dito actually pwede rin naman gumawa ng compound entry sa gagawin natin, no, pero sa example natin na gagawin, no, paisa-isa lang, no. Alright, ito, so pakita natin yan. So for number 1, service revenue, naka-debit ito, then credit income and expense, income and expense summary, sorry. Yan. The next is yung salaries expense, credit naman ito para ma-close, then debit income and expense summary. Ayan. So again, no, baka malilito tayo, no. So may mga entries naman na to prior, no. So magko-close lang tayo ng entries para lahat ng mga income expense mo mapunta na dun sa retained earnings or yung capital, no. Siyempre, kung loss ka ng, for example, kung loss ka ng November, yung loss na yun, ma-apply yun dun sa next month, January, no. Ma-affect pa rin sa business. Right? So, ganun din yung thought dito. So, again, yung salaries and expense, credit naman dito yung para ma-close yun, then debit yung income and expense summary. No? And then next, yung debit income and expense summary, credit depreciation, and then next, debit income and expense summary, and credit supplies expense. So, lahat muna naman expense dito. No? So, may kita naman natin yan. Kapag may ibang amount to, Ayan. Pag wala, syempre may error yan. Ayan. So, the fifth debit income and expense summary. The fifth debit income summary and expense summary, then credit utilities expense. So, ito yung last. Then, of course, create a T account and add the total amount under income and expense summary account. So, i-close mo lang naman dito yung mga services revenue accounts, or ito yung mga nominal, no, temporary accounts rather. Yeah. So, for example, service revenue naka credit, no. So, dapat mas maging maingat tayo rito sa recording ng closing entries, no. Siyempre, i-check mo or i-check natin kung alin ba rito yung mga affected na accounts. Yeah. Alright. So, yung pang fifth dito, no. Again, debit income expense summary, then credit utilities expense, no. And yung equivalent amount nila, so 2.5, no. So, papansin natin, no, i-close lang naman natin yung service revenue. Ayan, kasi naka-credit siya eh. So, dun sa income expense summary natin na ito, na account, no, naka credit siya. Ayan, naka-credit. Debit tayo ng service revenue para ma-close to. While yung mga next, of course, yung salaries expense and others, no, naka-debit yung income and expense summary. And dito naman, no, close sila. Kasi ano to eh, debit, naka-debit sila rito. So, di lang nakalagay rito, but this one will be closed. Yan. So, total mo silang lahat. Of course, for example, sa dito sa income and expense summary account, no, so 50,000, tsaka 12 13, 14, 15, 16, 16,000 na divide. May subtract mo yun. No? Meron kang 34,000 na kita. No? Rated earnings mo yan. No? So, yung 34,000 na yan, pupunta yan sa rated earnings. So, income expense summary, close mo siya. No? Close mo to. So, magiging credit to. So, gagawa ka ng debit dito, 34,000. Papasok mo siya dito sa rated earnings as credit. Yan, of course, yung drawing yan. Kasama rin yan doon. Hindi lang sa income expense. Yung drawing din. No? To be deducted sa retained earnings. Yan. So, close the income and income summary account to the retained earnings account. If there was a profit in the period, then this entry is a debit to the income summary account and credit to the retained earnings account. If there was a loss in the period, then this entry is a credit to the income summary account and a debit to the retained earnings account. Then close the drawing account to the capital account. And yung retained earnings, add if gain or subtract naman if loss sa capital. Yan. So, ito na yung post-closing trial balance. So, kung papansin nyo, no, from drawing hanggang expenses, wala ng amount, no? Kasi na-apply natin siya sa capital, no? After closing entries, no, i-prepare ka na naman ngayon ng post-closing trial balance kung saan reflected na yung mga income and expenses mo sa capital account at ito naman yung gagamitin mo sa next period, no? So, sabi nga rin sa sample natin na props, no, 100% success to sa closing entries, no, pag naging okay na at balance lahat, no, sabihin pwede ka na sa next accounting period, no, pwede mo nang gamitin yan and wala magiging variance or changes unless, no, yung mga ayusin na amount, no. As you can see here, wala na yung mga drawing revenues and expenses accounts natin, no. Naging zero na sila, no. So, pwede na itong gamitin sa next accounting period, no. And that ends our short discussion for the introduction to bookkeeping. I hope madami kayong natutunan na pwede nyo gamitin sa study or sa work. Again, kung meron kayo hindi naintindihan, no, pwede nyo i-post, balikan nyo lang, ulit-ulitin nyo lang, no, yung panonood, pakikinig, no, para mas ma-grasp natin, no. Kasi syempre, hawak niyo naman yung oras nyo, no. Doon tayo sa kung saan tayo mas gagaling, no, as effective kung paano yung magiging learnings natin. Again, thank you and have a nice day ahead, and see you all sa susunod na trainings, sa mga if any kayong i-take, no, and good luck. I hope again yung mga ibang mga questions post pre-test and post-test, no, sagutan nyo rin na maayos at sana of course, no, mas natulungan ko kayo para mas maintindihan yung bookkeeping. Again, my name is Aiken Montoya and this is the introduction to bookkeeping. Thank you and God bless us all.